All right, been talking a lot, and it's been on mute. Imagine that. So I'm gonna try it one more time. Don't even know what I said, but yeah. So this entry here is what I took here on How at the end of the day, and then it moved up. So I was taking like this break, the high of the close, but this is the area. This is all I saw when I opened the chart. This is all I saw, and so I was taking this this entry here. Problem with that is that I have not had great luck with taking these breaks, taking new highs, and even as taken such, it dropped down that far, right? So that's quite a bit of a drop. I did get in here, and I got in here, and then I exited here. So, you know, I made 26 cents on a 30 cent on a $3 stock off of 3 shares, which you know, averaging about 10 cents a share, which is for me not bad, not bad. But gosh, man, look at this, because this red dotted line here is the exponential moving average, and the solid red line is the simple moving average. This stock bounced right here on this exponential moving average, bounced on this exponential moving average. So, and I think a lot of the algos that I've been making, I've been using the simple moving average. I need to probably go and start using the exponential moving average. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, a couple of good respects that exponential moving average a couple times. I'm just looking here. This is like an indicator that I made, and I adjusted it the other day. I put these yellow highlighted marks overlaying the blue and the red. So the yellow would have gave pretty good entries right here. All right, would have put us in this region here, and then these two yellows would have put us in this region here. Did we get any more yellows? We got no more yellows. So if we had traded using that indicator, we would have done all right. All right, let's see. There's a couple more yellows over here earlier in the day. All right, so we got a yellow coming up from here, which there was a little bit of a dip there, but there was a move up that was heavier on the reward side than the risk side. And then we had yellow here, and this dip, which would have put us here, and again, didn't go any lower. It did move up higher. So yeah, these yellow marks here look pretty good on today's chart. Now in the pre-market here, those yellows would have put us here, and in this crazy area here. So the first one would have worked. The second one, not so well. The second one could have worked. Could have wicked you up here. But let's see. The moving averages, at least the 9, 15, 25, 9 moving average is coming down here. So the 15 moving average is definitely coming down here, and the 15 moving average is coming down here. Over here, the 15 moving average is moving up. 15 moving average is coming down. I'm trying to find out if there's other logic that would make this indicator more reliable. But one of the things I said I'm going to do tonight is probably kind of transition back to like tech stocks, a little bit more stable stocks other than penny stocks. I don't know how I keep getting to penny stocks. I do know, because they're so volatile, you can make a lot of money real quick. But the blue chip and the growth stocks, those are the ones that are more stable. So that I really got to spend more time there. All right, here the 9 moving average, the 15 moving average is moving up. Here the 15 moving average is going down. So I don't know. It's kind of a toss up whether or not the 15 period moving average moving up or down. So I'm just gonna leave that alone for right now. All right, so let's see. Let's go to Nvidia and see what that looks like on Nvidia. Come on, Lenovo, what you doing? Hey, I gave you a rest today, and now you over here asleep on the job. Okay, so Nvidia, and so again, this kind of indicator that I have on the bottom here, this is the slope. This is the slope of the 200 period moving average. This is the 200 period moving average. This is regarding the slope of the 200 period moving average. The black line is the fast. It's regarding 10 periods or 10 bars of the 200 period moving average. It's 10 bars of the slope, right? So that's this black one, and the red one is 30 bars. So what I've tended to see is that when this black is under the red, it's an opportunity. It's getting to be an opportunity to buy. And they really don't go far from one to another. They stay pretty close. So you really don't see one go too far from the other. And then the blue line here that I have, it's indicating that, let's see if I move it over. All right, you see the volume here. If the volume is moving up, if it's progressing, then there's this blue line that just says that there's momentum gaining. The volume is growing. And then this yellow highlight, I like to call it highlight. This yellow is just saying that, what did I add for the yellow? I think for the yellow, so the blue line says that the volume is growing. The yellow line, the yellow says that the black is under the red. And again, like I said, I found that the black being under the red indicates like a buying opportunity to the long side. So I want to buy in some momentum. I mean, if that's the strategy that you want to employ, I want to buy into momentum. And so if I'm buying in the blue, I'm in momentum. And so if the blue is also under the, if the black line is under the red and it's in momentum, then that's a good opportunity. So you see that worked here, right? So that yellow, boom, got that yellow, that is here, and that was a good opportunity. From here, I mean, we got like the bottom of the stroke, right? So we got the bottom of the stroke, and it went straight up from there. So I would say that that's a successful. Oh man. All right, here we go. All right, so this other yellow one here was, again, bottom of the stroke. Perfect. So we got two perfect ones. And then this yellow one here. This yellow one here is, not as good. Not as good, right? Question is, how could we maybe weed this one out, or does this one say anything that these others aren't saying, so that we could improve the logic on this indicator? And looking at it, I'm not seeing anything that jumps out at me. The volume, the 650, the 650. The yellow line is the 6-period moving average of the volume, and the blue line is the 50-period moving average of the volume. All right, so both are low, This one over here is the 50 is a bit higher than both. Here we're having some longer wicks. Here we're not having. So if you look over here, you see this long wick at the top. You see this long wick at the bottom. So within so many candles of this bar, we have long wicks. Here, we got a little bit of a long wick there. That one actually has some wicks on both sides. That one has some wicks too. So, and then over here, let's see what's going on with the wicks there. Over here, we got some wicks too. So, I think I just like those. I think I like the risk to reward ratio on the first two that we observed. I like the risk to reward ratio on those so much. I mean, there's so much meat from here to here, and then from here up, that if you were to get stopped out on this one, I think it would be okay. I think it would be okay. And then even this one, pre-market, right? So here, this yellow one, if you were to get in there, right in there, I mean, set your stop. Well, I don't know, because then you would have definitely got stopped at down here. So that's just one that I kind of put together fairly quickly, and didn't put a lot of time into. But let's see, do we want to add something regarding the 5-minute time frame onto it? And then what did I do with these green blobs? These green circles on here, that might be from a different script that I had in place. I feel like this is getting more and more misconstrued here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the green dots aren't doing a whole lot. Boom, if you were to enter there, you know, boom, if you were to enter there. It's great when the stock is moving up, you know, because it's harder to take losses when everything is going straight up. But the question is, when the stock's moving sideways or when the stock's moving down, how many false signals do you get at that point? How many poor entries do you get at that point? That is the question, and that is the answer. So if you would have got in on the green, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. So that green thing, this was regarding a 2-minute time frame for the stock ABVC, which was a penny stock. I did that on 1029, so I don't even know how good it did on ABVC. But again, it was on the 2-minute time frame, so let's see what that looked like. And then we actually go back to NVIDIA. Actually go back to NVIDIA and then try to find a couple of entries. Back on 1029. That 1029, that's 26. 27, 20. Well, it wasn't really doing anything on 1029. Maybe I made it 1029. I was supposed to be referencing like 1028, 1027, 1027. Yeah, see, it did all right on 1027. Those green dots there, a little move up there, move up there. That one's not great. It's 1030, so it would have been 1030. Okay. Let's go back to NVIDIA. Like I said, I really need to go back to some stocks that have a lot more liquidity. You need to have more buying power in order to get in and out. Therefore, it's less likely to be manipulated. All right, we're going to take the ABVC off. Going to remove that if we can. Remove. Okay, let's start something new. Okay. Let's do not a trend line. We're gonna do a show me. So this is just gonna a show me will show up on the chart to say that something's happening. All right. So 1 minute. NVIDIA. This is 11:03:23. Okay. So true. Let's just say the first one will be that. All right, so, and one of the things, so I've done a lot of things with scripting, and it's kind of cool because it gives me more practice. But so one of the things I've tried to do in the past is to identify like every area that's moving, right? So here, I want to get this, I want to get that pullback, I want to get this one, I want to get this one. And then the other thing that I've tried to do is just to identify the most significant areas. So this area in here, try to identify this, right? Because this is the start. Well, it's kind of like a pullback from here, pullback to continuing, but it's the start of the trend. So how do you identify the start of the trend? So I found it better to try to just focus on one thing while you're making an algo, instead of trying to capture everything. So to focus on the one thing, like I said, if you were just focused on this this kind of pullback area here, one thing that would be great to do that with would be this kind of a descending trend line, which I made the other week, but obviously it didn't fire right here. That is, that's this one, trend line practice. All right, trend line practice shows up when we have a trend line created with certain criteria. Like I said, it didn't fire here, but let's see if it fires on a different time frame. 5 minute. Let's get this one out of here because I drew that one. So I'm not seeing anything on the 5 minute time frame. Oh, here's one, that red one there. All right, so that red one was created by the script, and it fired right here. And so if we zoom out from this from the breaking of this red line, we got a nice straight move up. So again, I mean, I'm really liking this algo stuff, but I've got to figure out, I've got to spend more time. Like I said, just put this in the playbook and make some notes on what happens when. Because right now I just kind of look at it and I see it and I'm like, that's kind of cool, but I don't, I'm not fine tuning it at all. And I think that's the difference of what can make me great versus what's just making this kind of cool. Again, here you got this yellow highlight here, and if you go up, it'll put you in here. Depending on your risk to reward, right? I mean, I don't know how you would do the risk to reward on this. Again, because it's not in my playbook and I haven't spent enough time with it. All right, and we got the yellow here. Boom. So, oh no. All right, so the 1 minute time frame. I'm just gonna put something together real quick to see if I can isolate those yellow areas. Okay, so this is the quick and dirty of how we make a script. All right, so we say, all right, well, what's happening in all these areas where what's happening in all the areas where I've identified as yellow? All right, so we have a long wick there, we got a bit of a wick there, no real wicks there, no real wicks there. So, and before I get too far into it, that's one of the things I do want to work on creating is a script that changes along the way, right? So if you find that the wicks along the way are getting shorter, then one of the parameters of the script will change so that when the wicks are long here, it'll take this play. When these wicks are getting shorter, it'll take this play. So I want to make an algo that it's kind of like self-learning, if you will. All right. So like I said, long wicks is below this line here, which is a VWAP. Here we're below the 9-period moving average. Here we're below the 9-period moving average. Here we're below the 9-period moving average. So let's just start by saying that the the close or the low is less than the SA9, which is the 9-period moving average. It's actually this move. All right, this is the 1 minute NVIDIA. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go to show me. That is 1 minute. 1 minute. You see, at one point I was focused on tech stocks and just doing tech stocks, making a script on these things every night. Some days making multiple scripts, right? So I did Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla. Yeah, so I'm just getting back to it. Getting back focused. All right, Nvidia. This is 11.3 and 11.3. Put that on. Okay, so now a bunch of dots are going to pop up. So all these candles are under the 9-period moving average. But we have to now. So these are also. So now we have to figure out which ones we want. So do we want a bullish candle where the close is greater than the open, or do we want bearish candle? These down here are mostly bearish. We kind of forgot this one, and typically I want to take the bearish candles because I want the candle that's going down. And then there's this whole thing about confirmation. Do you want to get the one that's going down and you're like chasing a falling knife, or do you want to get the candle that's moving up, which is your confirmation that is already started moving up, that is doing some kind of a bounce? Like I said, usually when I'm doing these kind of algos, I'm looking for the bearish stock. So I'm looking for, I think I have something that's just called bear. Yeah, so now it's anything that was a bullish candle is not in effect, and only bearish candles are in effect. All right, what's going on here versus here? All right, so what's going on here is that the volume is under the 50-period moving average, such as is here. It's over the 6-period there, under the 6-period, over the. Okay, and this is another thing that I see also before that, like the stock starts moving back up, is as the stock starts coming down to that level of demand. When it meets that level of demand, and now you have more transactions happening here, the volume grows, and so you get a little bit more volume down here. So the volume starts peaking up a little bit, but not everybody buys in because everybody's too afraid to buy in at that point, and that's the best point for the stock to move from, because smart money doesn't want competition. They want to be by themselves. So they want to absorb everything, but then they don't want any other buyers to come into the mix. So absorption, higher volume, and then as it starts going up, it's lower volume. I see that a lot actually. So look, right? So as the stock comes down here, you get this higher volume right in here, right at the bottom. And then as it starts coming up here, right in here, you got this lower volume. It's like really low. It's like, why is this so low? This is like the lowest volume across the entire morning so far. This is the lowest volume, but this is also the first point at which it starts its, move to the moon, if you want to call it that. All right. So anyway, we're going to say that the volume is greater than the volume of the 6, which is the 6-period moving average of the volume. All right, so now we just have these. I want to change that color to green. I think for the 1 minute I used to do blue. I don't know. I think it was blue. All right, so we make those blue, just so my eyes can see them better. I have bad eyes. What did I say? All right, so that's blue. All right, this candle here is pretty long. These candles are pretty long. This candle, the body is fairly long. The body is at least longer than the average bodies, and so as it is over here. This body is very long. These bodies are not long, so we'll lose those. But this body is at least as long as the average bodies of like the past five candles or so. And so here, this body is pretty long. It's at least as long as the past 5 candles. Now it's not as long as these candles, but I think we'll still get these candles to fire. Anyway, we'll say that the we'll say body is greater than average body. Yeah, I think what are we doing? Price and length. Price average of what? The value. Body. How many? We'll say 5. Body is greater than average of 5 bodies. Okay, so we still got that one. We lost some of these other ones. All right, hang tight. Let me take this. Yo! I've been talking this whole time and I had it on mute. Well, when did I put it on mute? I have no idea. But you guys probably enjoyed just following along and not listening to me anyway, right? That was probably a treat for you. You know what? I think I put it on mute when I was talking to the wifey, and I never took it off. So, anyway, or did you hear the whole conversation and then I put it on mute after I got off the phone with her? Nevertheless, it's a good thing we keep it PG. Amen. All right. Let me try to find that Discord link. All right, here we go, guys. I've got it. And yeah, feel free to join me on Discord. That's where all the fun, juicy stuff is going to go. And if you have specific requests or tickers that you want me to look at, like I said, all this stuff just makes me stronger as a analyst, as a coder. So I have fun with it. Sometimes it gets to be a bit stressful, but yeah, it's all to make me a stronger warrior. All right, have a good night.
Then, you finished? You done? Yes. Okay.
Clearly, guys, I got kids and stuff in here, so all right. So I'm out of here. I'm Eric. I'm out.